Welcome students. In continuation to the magnetic effects, we are now going to deal with the thermal effects of electric current. The subtopics that we are going to cover are the cause of heating effect, Joule's law, electric power and electric energy, electric fuse, and maximum power theorem. So to begin with, the thermal effects of current, we have first the Joule's law. When an electric current is passed through a conducting wire, the electric energy is converted into heat energy. This effect is called as heating effect of electric current, or also known as Joule's heating effect. The Joule's law states that Q is equal to I square RT. We have learnt all this in our 10th standard syllabus. Here, the equation remains as Q is equal to I square RT if Q is in joules, I in amperes, R in ohms, and T in seconds. But if Q is in calories, which was the earlier unit of Q when it was not considered to be a form of energy, then the formula modifies. Q is equal to I square RT by J, where J is Joule's constant and its value is 4.18 joules per calorie. It's merely a conversion factor from calorie to joules. What is the reason behind this heating effect? That we realize by this statement of flow of electrons inside a conductor on application of potential difference on an electric field. When a battery is connected to the ends of a conductor, the electric field is set up. The free electrons move in the direction opposite to the field. They undergo collisions with the positive ions and the atoms of the conductor. The average kinetic energy of vibration of the ions and the atoms increases, and hence the temperature increases. What we realize here is we have to note this point that the course of electron through a resistor is like that of a stone falling in water. Like a stone when falls in water experiences an opposition due to the viscosity of water. Similarly, the electrons when flow through a conductor, they also experience opposition due to the positive ions and the atoms of the conductor present inside. What is electric power then? We know it is the rate of doing work by an electric current. The three forms of the formula are P equal to VI, P equal to I square R, and P equal to V square by R. The SI unit of power is watt, but practically we use the units as kilowatt and horsepower, where 1 kilowatt is 1000 watt and 1 horsepower is 746 watts. The electric energy is the total work done by an electric current given in a given time and is given by E is equal to either VIT or I square RT or V square T by R. The commercial unit of electric energy is kilowatt hour or BOTU, Board of Trade Unit. The 1 kilowatt hour, the practical unit or the commercial unit of electrical energy, in SI units its value is 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joules. Electric fuse. It is a protective device used in series with an electric circuit or an electric appliance to save it from damage due to overheating produced by strong current in the circuit or appliance. This strong current may be due to short circuit or due to overloading. Fuse is generally made of an alloy of 63% of tin and 37% of lead. This combination of fuse wire has high resistance and a low melting point, which are the required properties of a fuse wire. The electric heating appliances use nichrome wires, which is an alloy of nickel and chromium, and this is used because of its specific properties, that it has high specific resistance, it has high melting point, it has high malleability, and it does not get easily oxidized. For a given potential difference V, power is directly proportional to I from the formula P equal to VI. V is constant, so P is proportional to I. Similarly, P is also proportional to 1 upon R by the formula V square by R. If V is constant, then P is inversely proportional to R. From these two relations, we conclude that higher the power of an appliance, it draws more current. The more current is drawn by it. Large power will draw large currents. And higher the power of an appliance, less is its resistance. The resistance of such appliances is much smaller. Why we took here V to be constant? Because this is the criteria of electric supply. We supply a constant voltage of 220 volts AC. Now, maximum power theorem. This tells us when the maximum power will be utilized in a device or drawn by a device. For this, like we have a circuit. From the circuit we can see there is a cell with internal resistance R and EMF E, and a current I is drawn through the external resistance R, and the potential drop across it is V, and the circuit is complete. The maximum power theorem tells us that the net current drawn by this device, by this circuit, is E upon R plus R. The output power of the source EMF will be I square R. So what is the value of I that we substitute here? Then we get P is equal to E upon R plus R the whole square whole into R. For the output power to be maximum, we are dealing with the maximum power theorem. We know that the first differential of power with respect to resistance should be 0. dP by dR should be 0. So when we differentiate this with respect to R, we get first function into differential of second and second function into differential of first. So we realize E square is constant, so we take it as constant E square. The second function is constant R, and differential of R plus R whole to the power minus 2 will be minus 2 R plus R whole to the power minus 3. And the second term will be again E square is constant as usual. R plus R to the power minus 2, when this taken here, remains as it is, and differential of R with respect to R becomes 1. So this should be equal to 0 because dP by dR should be 0. When we take this term on the other side, we get 2R R plus R whole to the power minus 3 is equal to R plus R whole to the power minus 2. This E square and E square from these two sides cancel. On further simplifying, we find that this whole cube will cancel with the whole square and only one term remains here with minus 1 power. So this minus 1, when written taken to the denominator, we can write 2R upon R plus R is equal to 1. So this R plus R goes this side, so we get 2R is equal to R plus R. This R when taken on the other side, so 2R minus R is equal to small r. So this is how R is equal to R. So on simplifying, we get R is equal to R. So now putting this value of small r as capital R in this equation, we get R plus R is 2R. Whole square becomes 4R square. So E square by 4R square into R. So one R cancels, so E square by 4R. E square by 4R is the maximum power that is drawn from this cell. So we can realize what is the maximum power. In that case, instead of using R plus small r for I and using this formula, we simply replace small r by capital R. So we get the relation as E square by 4R. This is all for today. Until the next video. Thank you, students.